We live in an age where everything feels urgent. Every email must be answered now. Every message demands an immediate reply. Every opportunity must be seized before it slips away. Urgency has become the atmosphere we breathe. And somewhere along the way, urgency stopped being the exception and became the rule. But here's the truth no one admits. Most of what feels urgent is not. Most of the alarms that fill our days are illusions designed to hijack our nervous system to keep us in a state of constant reaction. And yet we obey. We rush from one task to another, hearts racing, minds scattered, as if the world will collapse if we pause. This is the addiction to urgency. Not urgency as in real emergencies. Life will always have those. But urgency as a lifestyle, urgency as identity, urgency as the lens through which we measure our worth. Think about it. When was the last time you went a whole day without feeling rushed? When was the last time you let a message wait, allowed a question to linger unanswered, chose to breathe instead of react? For many of us, the answer is never. We are addicted to the high of speed, the adrenaline of the urgent. It makes us feel important, needed, alive. But underneath, it is slowly killing us. Because when everything feels urgent, nothing actually receives our full presence. We answer quickly but not deeply. We decide fast but not wisely. We live in reaction instead of intention. This addiction fractures the soul. We mistake activity for meaning. We confuse constant motion with purpose. And in the rush, life itself becomes a blur. Urgency tells us, if you slow down, you'll fall behind. But fall behind what? A race no one wins, a competition no one remembers, a finish line that keeps moving no matter how fast we run. This addiction is not just cultural, it is neurological. Every ping, every notification, every red dot on the screen triggers the body's stress response. Cortisol floods, adrenaline spikes. We feel alert, engaged, alive. And so we crave it again. The silence in between feels unbearable, like withdrawal. So we check again and again and again. Urgency becomes our drug and presence becomes the casualty. But there is another cost, deeper still. Urgency robs us of intimacy. Have you noticed how hard it is to listen when you feel rushed? How difficult it is to truly see someone when your mind is already moving on? Urgency shrinks the space where connection happens. And without that space, relationships grow thin. So what do? How do we break free from a culture that glorifies urgency at every turn? First, we must name it for what it is, an addiction. As long as we see urgency as productivity, as responsibility, as virtue, we will keep feeding it. But once we see it as compulsion, we can begin to loosen its grip. Second, we must practice resistance in small, courageous ways. Let the message wait. Let the silence stretch. When the phone buzzes, pause before reacting. Notice the urge rising in your body and choose to breathe instead. It will feel impossible at first. Your mind will scream that you are failing, missing, falling behind. But slowly you will realize the world does not collapse when you stop rushing. In fact, the world feels more alive. Third, we must remember that urgency has its place, but only when it is real, when a child cries, when someone you love needs immediate care, when danger is present. These are true urgencies. Everything else is noise dressed in sirens. The antidote to false urgency is presence, because presence teaches us to discern, to see clearly what matters now and what can wait, to respond with wisdom instead of reflex. Imagine living a life where you no longer run from alarm to alarm, where your nervous system is steady, your breath unhurried, your choices made not in panic but in peace. This is not laziness. This is clarity. This is freedom. And the beautiful irony is this: when you let go of false urgency, you often become more effective. Because instead of scattering your energy in 1,000 directions, you give your full presence to what actually matters. And presence is always more powerful than panic. So here is your invitation. Experiment with letting go. Next time you feel the itch to check, the rush to answer, the compulsion to react, pause. Ask yourself, is this truly urgent or just loud? Then choose accordingly. Because urgency will not disappear from our culture overnight. But you can choose not to let it own you. You can choose to live in a different rhythm. One where peace is not weakness, where patience is not laziness, where slowness is not failure. The addiction to urgency tells us life must always be fire. But life is not meant to be lived only in crisis. It is meant to be savoured, to be noticed, to be present. So let the false alarms ring without you. Let the noise pass like waves against a rock. And remember, not everything is urgent, but your life, your presence, your soul, that is, and it deserves more than a life spent always rushing toward nothing.